And I wanted to move to viewers' questions now. This viewer is wondering about the silver versus real estate or house ratio. The first question they ask is, the silver house ratio in 1980 was 814 ounces for one house. Where do you think the silver house ratio will be realistically once the silver price has peaked this time? In 1980, people wanted gold and silver. This time, people will need gold and silver.
That's a good question. I think a lot of those ratios, and those ratios are important. That's something that Mike Maloney is always talking about, the price of gold and silver in ratios in regards to compared to real estate or oil, because those are real ratios and show you true undervalued or overvalued situations. Clearly, the gold-silver ratio is insane right now. I think that real estate ratio is also insane. I think it's going to go way beyond what it was in 1979. I think primarily because in 1979 they were able to put the brakes on. But I think that the next time they're kind of in a box and they won't be able to put the brakes on. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see silver go to a 1-to-1 ratio with gold, and perhaps to see 5 ounces of either buying a house.
All right, and this next viewer wants to know, Brother John F., can you give us your view on why prices are suppressed down so Asia can buy it cheap? Do you think there is an agreement between China and the U.S.?
I don't know if prices are suppressed down so that Asia can buy it cheap, or if prices are suppressed down to enable the Western banking system to continue. It may be one or the other, or a combination of both. I tend to agree with the idea that the Chinese seem to be on board in some way in this thing. We've seen a lot of the attacks come out of Asia. It's clearly in the Chinese interest to not put the price up on themselves. But then again, with silver, it's not even a relevant factor. There's so little silver that any even minor entity could take it all in a day. And so as far as silver is concerned, I think that pretty much almost all the governments are hands off. And as far as gold is concerned, I think that the Eastern powers are trying to accumulate as much as they can, probably thinking about at some point either floating a regional currency or making the Chinese yuan freely exchangeable and perhaps gold-backed.